What is going on, everybody? I hope you are all doing well, and I want to welcome you to my 5th video. So for today's video topic, I would like to discuss masking and autism. I'm first going to talk about what masking is. Secondly, I'm going to talk about why it's harmful. And last but certainly not least, I'm going to talk about ways to get more comfortable with not masking. Masking is a commonly talked about topic in people with autism. And how do I know that? Having autism myself, I have masked before and have told people about it, and others have shared their experiences with me as well. Masking can be referred to as somebody hiding certain traits about themselves from others so that they feel like they can fit in better with perceived mainstream society. And I say perceived because many people have varying opinions and mindsets about what mainstream society actually means. And before I move on any further, I would like to point out that autism is a wide spectrum. There are people who might find it easier to not want to mask, and there are other people who might find it harder to not want to mask. So a lot of what I'm saying is generalized. Anyway, people with autism, when they mask, they are stepping outside of their comfort zone so that they can seem like everybody else and be perceived like everybody else, with the goal of fitting in. And again, I speak on that and everything that I say in this video from personal experiences and also shared experiences. When masking, people with autism might want to hide certain autistic traits, and this could be anything. And these traits can include reducing stimming if somebody stims a lot, trying to maintain longer eye contact if somebody finds it difficult to maintain or initiate eye contact, and hiding one special interest so that they can pretend to be interested in others' hobbies and interests. And moving on to why masking is harmful, first of all, it's exhausting. There have been times where I felt like I had to drain my social battery so much so that I can do my best to fit in with other people. And even if I was feeling anxious or some sort of negative emotion about what was going on in a social situation, I would think to myself, you just gotta keep pushing, keep going, because something good socially might come out of this. I felt like the more that I masked and the more that I pretended to be somebody who I wasn't, I would have better social outcomes. And a lot of the times when I pretended to be somebody who I wasn't, I thought that socially the situations were getting better, I was making these friends, and let me tell you, that did not work. And then when I would show my authentic self, my autistic self, certain people started to scatter and take no interest in me anymore. And when that happened, yes, it hurt, but I also realized that those people weren't meant to be in my life. And that's another thing. When you mask, you attract most likely the wrong people. Technically, when you mask, you're attracting the wrong people who like the pretend you. And then when you stop masking for however long it might be, unfortunately, there are people who will step away and shy away from that. A way that I like to look at it, or at least try to look at it, is that when that happens, that can actually be a blessing because it's removing people who are not meant to be in your life. And by you consistently not masking, you are going to attract the right people who want to be in your life and should be in your life. Masking also depletes you of your self-confidence and the way that you feel about yourself. And low self-esteem and low self-confidence can lead to further negativity. And nobody deserves that. So now, last but not least, ways to become more comfortable with not feeling like you have to mask. The first way is to remember that when you don't mask, you attract the right people. And honestly, that doesn't just go for people with autism, that goes for anybody. When you act like your true, authentic self, you are going to attract people who want to be in your life for being you. Masking, potentially attracting the wrong people. Not masking, attracting the right people. The second way is to really come to terms with yourself on what your true values and beliefs are. Because values and beliefs are inherently very strong, and it's very hard to avoid those. And the more that you focus on those beliefs and values, the more that you will feel inclined to want to live in alignment with them. And that in itself gives you kind of a recipe on how to live your life. The third way is to practice self-compassion and self-love. The more that you love yourself, the more that you will feel better about yourself, which can lead to better external outcomes, and that includes socially. And as that positivity ball is rolling, you might feel inclined to want to go out and do things that you love, which can connect you with even more people who are meant to be in your life. So I hope that what I talked about today gave you more insight on what masking is, why it's harmful, and ways to become more comfortable with not doing it. You deserve to be your true, authentic self. Don't ever feel like you have to hide who you are. That's not fair to you. Thank you for tuning in to this video and stay tuned for my next one.